Xin chào tất cả quý vị đại biểu.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So I would like to thank the organizer for the invitation to share my presentation regarding the implementation of joint credit mechanism JCM in Vietnam. So at the webinar today. So in my presentation, I will be going through three following parts. So how can I move the slides? So in my presentation, I will be touching upon the general information about JCM in Vietnam. I'll be talking about development and implementation of JCM projects in Vietnam over the past year, over the past time. And third, I'll be discussing the implementation plan for the period of 2021 and 2030. I would like to go into the general information about JCM. So you know that for the implementation of JCM in Vietnam, Vietnam and Japan signed a memorandum on cooperation on low carbon growth between the Japanese side and the Vietnamese side for the first the ministerial level. So on the 2nd July 2013. So the representative from MONRE and from the Ministry of Environment of Japan joined the ceremony. For the implementation of the JCM, for the period 2021 and 2030, so the two countries agree for the implementation of JCM in order to make contribution to the commitment towards reduction of greenhouse gas emissions within the framework of NDC. So that is the very important aspect. So the two countries agree upon the memorandum on the low carbon growth. So it should be signed at the government level. So in October 2021, the representative of the two governments, representative from the MONRE and the ambassador of Japan embassy in Vietnam also signed another memorandum. So for the implementation of the JCM Vietnam, the two countries established the joint committee, which is a committee comprising representatives of Vietnam and Japan to direct, coordinate, and manage JCM implementation activities under the memorandum of understanding on low carbon growth between Vietnam and Japan. So from Japanese side, that is the co-chair, who's the Deputy Ambassador of Japan in Vietnam. And from the Vietnam, so the co-chair is the Deputy Minister of MONRE, the Vice Chair, the Director General of PCC, and the other representatives of the relevant ministry. So at the moment, the Vietnamese JCM Secretariat is a working group consisting of officials from DCC, MONRE, who assist at the JC in Vietnam. So in total, there are about 20 staff providing the support to the JC, especially the Vietnamese JCM Secretariat, so which is comprising of the staff of all of the relevant departments of the MONRE to join hands to work together. For the implementation of the JCM in Vietnam, so especially the implementation of the projects from Vietnam, so Japan will be providing the funding to the project through the Ministry of Environment of Japan, MOEJ, who will provide the support, the maximum amount of 50% of technology investment. So the Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry, METI, and NIDO could support 100% investment in technology, but the project participants must acquire after the pilot or demonstration period project 3 years at a discount rate, normally 23 discount. So the JCM starts its operation as the non-tradable credit type of mechanism. The JCM credit will not yet be traded on the market. So that is for your information. So from 2013 until now, the JCM is now under the non-trade mechanism. So the projects are not available for trade on the market basis. So while for the implementation of the JCM activities in Vietnam, while the Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment issued circular number 17 was stipulating the development and the implementation of projects under the joint credit mechanism in the framework of cooperation between Vietnam and Japan. So including the 15 implementation areas of energy production, energy transmission, energy consumption, agriculture, waste treatment, afforestation and reforestation, chemical industry, manufacturing industry, construction, transport, mineral exploitation and processing, metal production, emission from production and consumption, and using and
gọi tắt là UCF. Trên đây là cái
so you can see here the development and implementation of JCM projects. While the steps for the building and the implementation of the JCM project from the beginning until receiving the carbon credit. So this is the mechanism through 7 steps. The first step is the development of methodology. So each side of PP prepares a draft methodology and submits to the joint committee for approval. So this should be the basis for the building of the project. And the second step is to develop project design documents. While PP make a project design document, the PDD for a JCM project activity. So it is all about how to achieve the greenhouse gas emission reduction. And the third step, the validation. The TPE conducts independent evaluation of a proposed JCM project against the validation guidelines as developed by the JC. While the third party independent organizations, about more than 10 organizations who are licensed for the approval of the JCM project in Vietnam. And the fourth step is the registrations. So the formal acceptance by the JC of a validated project as a JCM project. So for the project which qualify with the criteria, and the fifth step for the monitoring. So the PP implements a JCM project and monitor greenhouse gas emission reduction or removal by the JCM project based on the PDD. So at the step number 6, that should be the verification. The TP conducts the periodic independent review and expose a verification of the monitor greenhouse gas emission reduction or removals. So the step number 7 for the issuance of credits, PP requests the JC to notify the exercise to issue the credits to its respective account in the registry on the basis of the verification report with the determined allocation of credits. So the information about the development and implementation of JCM projects in Vietnam. So the information on the methodology, project register, and credits issued to each project is posted on the Vietnamese and Japanese government JCM website. So you may see the link for the website. So right here, so you can see the vie.jcmvietnam.vn index PHP or the www.jcm.go JP and VNJP. So this is the statistics, the overview of the development and implementation of JCM projects. Over the past time, since 2013 until now, we have organized 8 JC meetings in order to consider and to evaluate the activities of the JCM projects in Vietnam. So the annual plan and the future plans. So 15 methodologies approved and 14 projects registered in Vietnam. So within the 14 projects, 8 projects have been issued with the credits for have been issued with the credits. So in total, 4,415 credits issued. So the Vietnam received 38%, about 35 million US dollars, accounting for 38% of the total funding for the project. It is a significant figure. So regarding the credits received via the project allocated to Japan about 69% and Vietnam 31%. So this is the development and implementation of JCM project. You can see the 14 JCM projects registered and implemented in Vietnam. So the all project related to the energy saving. So the list of the project you may refer to on the website both in Vietnam and Japan for your reference. I have just introduced in the previous slides. And I would like to go to the implementation plan for the period of 2021 and 2030. So first and foremost, Vietnam will review and adjust the rules and the guidelines for the implementation of the JCM to ensure that the process of registering, implementing, and reporting on the implementation of JCM project complies with the Vietnam regulations on administrative procedures. That should be the first. So from then until now, in the period from 2013 until now, the owner of the project will submit the documents via email or the information portal. So these information has not been built properly in accordance with the regulation of Vietnam government. So these will be about to be regulated more properly. So the submission should be going via the Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment. So this is also common for the other countries. So the second is to strengthen the state management while conducting periodic inspection and the supervision of the project over the past time. While prior to the point of the signing of the memorandum on cooperation to extend the JCM beyond 2020. So we assess the activities of the project. I can say that the majority of the project owner have not been familiarized with the JCM rules, or the majority of them don't understand about the JCM mechanism. So mostly they go through the consultation of the parties who provide the kind of the guide or the kind of the suggestions for the implementation of the project that the project owner have no idea. So, and third, it is also very important to identify the rate of allocation of credits among the participants to match the rate of contribution to the development and implementation of the project. So this is the area of the interest of the business community. So the MONRE, together with the other stakeholder, determine the rate of the allocation of the credit not clear at the moment. So the stakeholders, the parties of the project should embark on the negotiation and discussion for the allocation of the credits. So the JCM project will make contributions to the NDC. So this should be agreed upon and to consider. And then furthermore, it is also necessary to promote the tradability of carbon credits from the JCM project. So when it is possible for the commercialization, we encourage the businesses to register for the project. And it is also the kind of the additional financing funding sources. It is similar to the carbon mechanism operated over the past time. Within the implementation of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. So the commercialization should be allowed for the domestic market. So we need to build further capacity for the business community in accessing, developing, and implementing JCM projects, and build capacity and to promote the participation of agency and units in Vietnam in consulting and verifying activities for the JCM project. So upon the participation of the consulting parties in Vietnam, while the number of the projects JCM in Vietnam have significantly increased. So you can see that the Vietnam is the country with the huge potential for the activities to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. And the initial statistics for the number of projects into the implementation within the framework of the joint credit mechanism is significant and also an encouraging sign for all of us to make further contributions and to for the development in the future. Thank you.